Hi guys, Darth Deuce here, back on our Star Wars The Vintage Collection action figure review. Going back some 3 3/4 inch for now. We're taking a look at some of the newer releases that again have been coming through, or that I've been able to pick up. Anakin here is a pretty new release. This is Anakin Skywalker Padawan from Attack of the Clones. This is actually a reissue of a figure. This figure was originally released way back in the 3 3/4 inch Star Wars Black Series line. Back in 2013, when the Vintage Collection ended and the Black Series started, they kept the 3 3/4 inch figure lines going for a little bit as Black Series 3 3/4 inch. And this guy was part of the first wave. And it was a figure I always kind of meant to get, but for whatever reason, I always put it off and I just never bothered getting it. It was a pretty easy figure to get. It wasn't one that was super high on my priorities at the time. But now I'm glad that they've released it, and they have added a couple of new features to make it a little better. But here he is on the card back. I like it. Attack the Clones, Anakin Skywalker Padawan figure. Orange backdrop I think works pretty well here, and a pretty decent image of Anakin from Attack the Clones. I'm not entirely sure what this scene is from, if it's from Tatooine or if it's from Geonosis. I can't really tell, but it looks good nonetheless. So if you're an on-card collector, this will be a cool one, I would imagine. Other figures that are currently available, I have reviewed all of these on the channel already except for Morak, Boba Fett, and Din Djarin. So yeah, if you want to see any of those other reviews, check out my channel for that. But that's pretty much it for the packaging, so I'm going to crack them open and we'll take a closer look at the figure. Okay, so we got Anakin out of the packaging, and this is a pretty cool figure. I am happy to finally have a proper Attack of the Clones Padawan Anakin in the collection. I have had a version of Attack of the Clones Anakin in the collection for a little while. I've had the Peasant Disguise one, but this is, his main look in the movie, so this is the one I wanted to have the most for that. And yeah, it's pretty cool. Not a perfect figure by any means, and its age shows a little bit, but it's pretty solid, excuse me. So, taking a look at the head sculpt here, you will notice that they have enhanced it with face print, and I think it looks all right. I don't think the likeness is 100% there for Hayden Christensen. I think it looks fine. The face print definitely makes it look more realistic, but I think the sculpt just in general just isn't quite there. But I think it looks, does the job enough. I'm not too concerned about it. He does have the ponytail Padawan braid there, and the hair itself is sculpted decently. And you have the robes. The proportions of the figure are quite nice. I do like that. And I like the sculpted detail that went into his actual robe. You can see the textured detail that went into that. I think it looks really nice. A little bit of sloppy paint going on there. There's a bit of a brown blemish there, which isn't the greatest, but not a huge deal. On the back here, you have kind of the same thing. Details going on. The belt painted pretty nicely. Some nice painted details there. The belt buckle looks pretty good. These are a relatively softer plastic. You do have some soft goods lower robes, which work pretty well in conjunction with the plastic. And he's got some pretty simple pants, and he got these shin guards that he wears, which I think are sculpted really nicely as well. Not too much to talk about, to be fair. It's a fairly, standard Jedi look, but it does the job. In terms of articulation, you do have just a normal old school ball joint in the head, but you do get a decent range of motion there. Ball hinges in the shoulders move quite well, actually. Ball hinges in the elbows just move about 90, actually, which actually isn't bad for how bulky the sleeves are. Swivels at the wrists, a swivel at the waist. Old style ball hinge in the hips. At the time, really good articulation. Even still, holds up pretty well. You can do a full splits. It's just kind of annoying having to rotate the leg to get the kick out, but you can't do that and not have too much issues. Single hinge in the knees, which move about 90. And then you have a single hinge in the ankles. And a rocker, actually. Oh, was not expecting that. This guy has rocker joints. The original figure had rocker joints? Huh. I did not know this figure had rocker joints. Okay, that's actually pretty good. Maybe the original figure had rocker joints. I actually have no idea. If it didn't, then they actually made an upgrade here and gave him rockers. But I have to assume the original figure had rocker joints. So that's actually pretty cool. So back then, it was pretty uncommon for these figures to have rockers. So yeah, pretty good articulation. it would have obviously been nice to get the new style hip joints for the figure, but for this being a re-release, I wasn't expecting that. In terms of accessories, it comes with a decent amount of stuff. You do get this soft goods robe with them, which is a new piece that didn't come with the original figure. It's supposed to be the robe that he wears in the movie. It's a black or very, very dark brown. And I appreciate the thought that they want to include this, but I think in practicality it looks pretty bad. It doesn't sit right on him. I think these flaps of fabric are supposed to go in the front, but the way they stitched it, it just doesn't work. It's really finicky and doesn't look good and all that. You can kind of get the hood to sit kind of okay, but it's not good. It's just not good, unfortunately. Soft goods, I'll cut them some slack. Soft goods can be kind of tricky to implement at this scale, but there have been Jedi robes that have been better than this. This is bad. It's bad. You also get his lightsaber, of course. He needs to come with his lightsaber. And this is well done. You do have the hilt there, painted nicely with some black detail, and the blue blade is a nice color blue. I do like that. And you can hold that in his hand with no problemo. So yeah, you can have Anakin with his lightsaber doing his thing. You also get his lightsaber hilt with the peg on it, and there's a hole on his belt. You can plug that into his belt, and you can have that on his belt. So that's really good. And then last accessory, take his lightsaber out for this. You can actually swap out his right hand and interchange it with the mechanical hand he has at the end of the movie. It's fairly easy to do. You do want to be a little careful putting the metal one, or not the metal, but the prosthetic one in, because it has a bit of a thinner plastic there because it's a bit more skeletal. So you will want to be careful there. But you do can have the robot hand. And I think that looks really good. It can also grip the lightsaber, no problem. I'll probably display him without it, honestly, because he has it. It doesn't have it for most of the movie. But I do appreciate the inclusion for sure. Give him his lightsaber again. Put it in his hand. There we go. So yeah, really cool Anakin figure, honestly. I'm pretty impressed with it. It's a bit better than I was expecting it to be, if I'm being honest. In terms of comparisons, I don't have a whole lot to get this focused up to compare with, but here it is with the re-release of the peasant Anakin with the face print. I think came out last year. I can't really remember. And yeah, I definitely like this new one better. I think it definitely has the better sculpt, the better likeness. This doesn't even, think this one doesn't even remotely look like Hayden, honestly. It looks like it could be any random Jedi. So, yeah, I also just prefer this look anyways, and this one's just the better made figure. And then here he is with the recently re-released, with face print, Attack of the Clones Obi-Wan Kenobi. And I think these guys look really nice together. There we go. The camera doesn't want to do its focusing job. There we go. I think they look pretty cool together. They'll definitely be displayed together on the shelf, that's for sure. So yeah. Overall, I think this is actually a really solid figure. I know multiple different Anakin figures and whatnot don't always spark the most excitement among collectors, but I would probably say this has probably got to be the best version of Attack of the Clones Anakin in this scale, more than likely. I could be wrong about that. This is literally pretty much the only one aside from that peasant one that I own, but it's probably one of the better Anakin Skywalker figures in the 3 3/4 inch line. If you missed out on it like I did the first time, I'd definitely jump on this one and pick it up. And if you have that old one, you probably don't need to upgrade. I don't imagine the face print is that good enough to warrant getting a whole new one, and the extra robe you get, like I said, the robe sucks. I'm not going to use it, so yeah. Anyways, that's pretty much all I have to say about this one. So thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you think down in the comments below, and I will see you all in the next one. May the Force be with you.